Okay, so this is what is happening. They are getting into my house and turning my hot water heater full blast and then um, running the water, um, so that it's just draining the hot water heater that they have on full blast. And how I figured this out is that yesterday morning, about 4:30 in the morning, I drew a bath because I was dizzy from the shit that they've been doing to me. And so I was just drawing a bath, doing what I usually do, and got it done. And I went to stick. I thank God I didn't just get into it. I stuck my arm in it, and it was like, even though I had done what I've done so many times before, this time, me sticking my arm in it felt like I just had stuck my arm in fucking boiling water. And so, of course, it fucking hurt. And so I had to go and deal with that. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is all of this about? So I go downstairs, and they either accidentally or intentionally left my hot water heater on high. And so that's the bullshit that's going on. And so that happens yesterday morning. And I'm fucking angry. And so I make the choice, fuck it. Fuck heaven. Fuck the consequences. I'm casting on every fucking one of them. And hey, Saki. And because I was mad. But I still had drawn a bath. So I ended up soaking in that hot water. And the thing about baths for me is that it helps open me up. I can just open myself up. And in that bath, I was told, under no circumstances am I to cast on any of them. I do. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And that's what I was given. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And I could not go against that. So I couldn't do shit. And even though I'm telling, my whole thing was, so now they're doing this. But they also came in and fucked with half and half. And they almost tricked me into poisoning people in town. All of this shit has been serious. And it's been constant, non-stop. And I'm tired of feeling like all I can do is take it in the ass. That's the thing that I have a problem with, is that with Jesus Christ. That's the only argument, is that he's so much greater than I am, because I fight back. I fight back. And being told that there was nothing I could do, but then this brings me to what I wanted to say today and the title of what I said today. So last night, I spent the entire day pissed off. I spent the entire day pissed off because I feel that for some reason, this whole they're trying to burn me out with my utilities and all of that is pissing me off. It pissed me off. It pissed me off. It has pissed me off. And do I believe the deputy that I talked to at the sheriff's office? Fuck no, I don't believe that. They're just trying to blow sunshine up my ass to try and get me to stop any way they can. With everything that, come on, this is the same department that just what? a month, maybe a month and a half ago, told me to go to an FBI office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. You know? So now suddenly I'm supposed to believe. And so I spent the entire day fucking irritated. Irritated. So last night I go to sleep and I had what I refer to as a journey dream. I know I'm not the only person. They don't happen often, but how many of you have actually fell asleep and gone into a dream and then afterwards woke up kind of tired because with all of your being, you felt like you were someplace else that was real, and this stuff that happened, even though it presented itself as a dream, still felt real. That's what I'm talking about with a journey dream. A lot of times people just dream, you're just processing shit in your own head, and you can equate it with that. These are something different. They don't happen often, but I've had a few, I've had exactly almost every night, and especially right now. So last night I had a journey dream, and I remember distinctly two things. One, heaven is more active than I've ever seen heaven before, ever. And what I will tell you is that the only impression that I got, because I can't tell you exactly what's happening, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the other thing that I dreamt in my journey dream last night is that I know that I had a conversation with my sister Cindy, who told me, booby trap your house. And when she said that to me, I know that there was longer conversations because when I woke up, that's what I remembered, is that she said, booby trap your house. And I thought when I woke up, I had to start thinking about it. And she's right. I am forbidden to cast on them. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But that doesn't mean that I can't do things to protect myself and my shit. There's nothing that stops me from doing that. That's okay. And so this morning, what I did, and this is why I entitled it for Aquino, because I know you fucking watch these, Aquino. What I did this morning was I decided to actually safeguard myself. I can't cast on any of you. But what I did was open up a doorway. And what I opened was a doorway that is on the threshold of my home. And so now, when someone crosses that threshold and they're not welcome, the minute they cross, they find themselves on the other side of the looking glass. You want to come into my home? Let me show you my home on the other side. And the further they come into my house, the further they go into the dark. And this doorway is not a revolving door. So once they do it, it's done. This is the part of Kino that you'll appreciate. In this whole thing, because you all work as a group, you all protect yourselves as a group, you're all part of a group. And so therefore, because you're all part of a group, it was easy to bind all of you as a group. So, with that said, it will only take one, and one brings you all onto the other side of the looking glass. You'll all be bound by the dark. And I'm not casting on you. I'm just simply putting it as a restriction to my house. The cool thing about it, Aquino, is that you think that your disposable minions have been helping you. But they're brainless. They do what they're told. And I know that now they're watching this and they are frothing at the mouth to prove, to just go out of their way to assert themselves and their dominance over me. And because I'm able to do it as a group at this moment in time, which I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make any difference if it is the least of you. It counts. And it's only going to take one more time. With that said, we both know, Michael, that it is inevitability. No one is going to be able to stop it because they can't stop themselves. And it's only going to take one. And you did it to yourselves. And now you know. Now you know. That's the reason why heaven has had me be in this position for as long as I have. Because heaven allows me, it tells me what, it gives me the boundaries. What I can do, what I can't do. You know? And the fact that, Daniel, you wrote me that dumbass email saying that you had a kid, what? Am I just supposed to be like, oh, okay, you know? No. I feel sorry for that kid. I feel sorry for that kid. You know? You taught the wrong person your shit. This is basically how it's working right now as far as the fucking planet goes. This is how it's going to work. The planet, for whatever reason, has almost at this point stopped revolving. The inside of it. Not the planet itself, but the inside. The core has stopped revolving. At a time that, for whatever reason, the planet is tilted at a 33 to 35 degree angle that it's never been tilted at before. All of the plates that mankind live on are situated on top of liquid. It's either ocean water or magma, but all of it is liquid. When that liquid stops at 23 degrees, I knew it was something, we're tilted. When it stops revolving, and these plates are on liquid, all of the shit is gonna shift. That's just common sense. And so we're at the end. We're at the end. Aquino, you're the next dumbass one of your fucking minions who comes into my house. Because Daniel Dowd says he has a kid under that Villa account, and Gio texts me and then leaves me a voice message that was, 2 minutes and 30 seconds long? And all I could hear is someone like moving the phone and breathing. It was just, there was nothing there. That's why I just deleted it. You know, about 10:30 at night. Blocked that number, deleted the shit. It's over. And it'll be by your own hand because one of your dumbass minions is going to come through that fucking door. You're all bound as a group. You can say whatever the fuck you want. People can say whatever they want, but I've told you, Aquino, you gave the wrong person your shit. Training me, pledging your souls to me, all of that shit, and it's just, the child trafficking thing is the least of everyone's worries anymore. It's the least of everyone's worries. Because when the North American Craton plate moves, everything on it is going to fall down. It's going to have a serious effect. And again, when you consider all of those earthquakes that we've had in 7 days. That was a 7-day period that screenshot was taken. And it follows the North Craton perfectly. To think that it's not going to move is just ridiculous. Not to mention the sun, what hit us with 2 huge X flares in 12 hours? It hasn't stopped. And we have no magnetic field. Basically, no magnetic field. The poles are getting ready to switch. There's a big empty spot at the middle of in the equator that's dividing in half. That's encouraging, you know. But you can't talk basic elementary science and common sense with people anymore because they don't get it. And the reason they don't get it is because they either don't have the capabilities or they're emotional, you know. If you could present one thing that could contradict all the shit that mankind as a whole is facing right now, that would save everything, other than your opinion of you don't believe it because you don't want to believe it. So that changes things. I can't stop these child traffickers from breaking into my house. All of this Nazi bullshit. I can't stop it. I've documented it. It's all documented. It's all documented. But Aquino, it is an inevitability. One of your dumbass minions who's all propped up and dancing around like an orangutan is going to come through that threshold. And it's only going to take one more time. One person, one more time. And it binds you as a whole. And you're going to all find yourselves in the dark unless you can figure out a fucking way to live forever. That's how it's going to work. Unless you can completely thwart death, you're going to get claimed. Heaven afforded me that, and it'll be by your own fucking doing. And now you've been told. And I know you fucking watch this shit. I know you all do. You know? You think that your stupid shit, your emails and your voicemails and your texts and all the shit you're doing in my house and all of that, you are trying to assert yourselves and do not realize what you face right now. I had to come to a... Right now, things are so strong. I seem to be coming to a come to Jesus moment. Because when I journeyed yesterday, that's what I was told. Under no conditions could I cast on them. And then I was told to journey, which I did. And what I was told was, not only does heaven got this, heaven wants it. That's the reason why I couldn't do shit. I can't intervene at all. Heaven's got this. And they ain't gonna like what's coming. They ain't gonna like what's coming. And I have faith. I have faith. Despite the fact, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm bitching, but nobody can afford to donate, so nobody donates. So I have no fucking clue how things are gonna work. I just have to have faith that however way they work, they work. You know? I just do what I can and have faith in the rest. That's all I can do. And it's not heaven, it's the new earth. You're either going to the new garden or you're getting claimed by the dark. That's the only way to do it. And the only way to get to the new garden is to fill your heart with love. It's the same message we've been given from the very beginning. Nothing's changed. The word hasn't changed. The whole rules around the word haven't changed. You know, they haven't changed. They're the same. It's the same. It's the same message that we've always been given. Fill your hearts with love. Love God, love everyone else. If you love doing those two things, the 10 things that we were told about keeping your hands off other people's shit, Don't claim their honor. Don't claim your parents' honor. Don't steal their lives. Don't steal their wives. Stay away from their shit. You know, you'll be following all of that if you're following the two. That's the reason why when Jesus Christ said he came to solidify the word, if you're doing the two things he told us to do, everything else is a no-brainer. That's how it works. And we're at a time where they wanted a war with heaven. I can't stop the shit. I can't stop them from coming into my house. But boy, they ain't gonna like the next time. They ain't. And it's only gonna take one. It's only gonna take one. Cindy was right. I needed to booby trap my house. I needed to booby trap my house because I can booby trap my house in a way that nobody can booby trap their house. You know? And okay, come arrest me for opening the doorway into my house. And the only way for you to find yourself on the other side is to come into my house, and I don't want you in my house. That's how it works. They wanted in my house. So, okay, come to my house on the other side then, you know? Since you want it so bad that you're willing to just violate me in any fucking way you want, okay. But it's only going to take one, and once the one is done, it's done. It's done. That's how it works. And so, and these dumb ass fucking Nazi child traffickers are going to get what they get. That's how it works. You know, they're going to get what they get. They're coming in here. They always come in as anonymous and actually say all of this stupid shit, like any of that stuff is going to matter. You know? I'm not going to violate anything, but the darkness will take whatever pleasures it wants. You find yourself in the fucking dark, it owns you. It owns you. That's how it works. You know? Coming into my house unwanted when I'm not even fucking here, that's a violation. You know? People that go through that feel violated. They do whatever the fuck they want to my dogs. They do whatever the fuck they want. They stole an old Dell laptop and then bragged about it to me like I would be like, oh, I'm so afraid. But I don't have shit that I have to be afraid of. So I did what people are supposed to do. I called 911. You know? Do I trust the conversation? I'd like to. It sure would be nice. But to do so would be completely illogical and would fly in the facts of what has already been well established. No, I don't believe it. Not in the fucking least. That's the reason why I was so irritated yesterday, because do you know what it's like to have... I know that if I cast on them, it could fuck them seriously up. You know? I know what I can do. You know? I've done it, but every time I've done it, it's been with heaven, with me. I can't do shit without heaven. You know? And wouldn't do it. Can't cast on them. Can't cast on them. What happens to them is all up to heaven, and I don't have anything to do with it. But I'm good at opening doorways, and so I opened a doorway. And on the other side of the looking glass, that's all the shit that I was trained to do. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at it. So I opened up a doorway. You come into my house, and it's only going to take one. And it's an inevitable. That's the fun thing about this, Aquino. There's not a fucking thing you're going to be able to do to stop it. It is going to happen. Without a doubt, it's going to happen. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Change this chaos, you know? And once it happens, you're all claimed. I don't have a clue how it's going to work out, but I know that death is coming because I know that the North American Craton plate is getting ready to move. When they say that Yellowstone, when they actually are admitting to people that Yellowstone is getting ready to explode, and it's been what, 130,000 years, 180,000 years, I forget the number, but it's been a long time, you know, that it blew up. When it does, it's going to relieve the pressure off of the craton, and the plate is going to move. No, it's not been, it's been way more than 70,000 years. It hasn't been 70,000 years. It's either 130 or 180,000 years. You know, what difference does it make? It's getting ready to fucking move. You know, they're saying that it's getting ready to explode, and so is the volcano under sea right off the coast of Oregon. That's getting ready to explode. You know, it's and when it does, it's going to relieve pressure on the plate that has earthquakes all across the entire border of it, all the way up into the East Coast. You know, it follows the craton. It's getting ready to move. And when it does, everything's going to fall down. And what's going to end up happening is that heaven is going to claim them as a whole. Because there's no discrepancy for me. You know, it's not this Republican and this Democrat and this Hollywood. None of that shit matters. All of them. All of them. All of them. 640,000 years since the eruption of Yellowstone. That's what I thought. You know, 640,000 years, and now it's getting ready to explode again. And so is the supervolcano in Italy. You know, the plates are getting ready to move, and when it does, it's going to shake everything down. And so, dude, if you didn't have your head so far up your ass, maybe you would actually figure out that the stuff that I'm saying is just stuff that they are. Actually, it is news. Just because you're ignorant doesn't mean the world revolves around your ignorance. But in America, fuck, we don't have a clue. We think whatever ignorance date, you know. Well, the North American Craton, we're going to get what we want because it's not only the United States, but basically most of Canada. It's that whole plate. I think there's only 7 plates total. On the planet Earth, there's only 7 plates. Why? Because the Earth is mostly water. We're more water than we are land. That's how it works. So when all that water stops revolving, the shit that's on the surface of that water is gonna shift. Isn't that how fucking real life, just elementary, the shit people used to learn when we were in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade? But now it's like some sort of rocket science. It's happening now. Now. It's in the news now. And so, again, think about your souls. Because death is coming. It won't be instant. It won't be instant. For some, it will be. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. Yellowstone it's getting ready to erupt. They're saying that it's getting ready to erupt. And the reason why they call it a supervolcano, it's an extinction level event. That's how it works. What did you think was going to happen? The sun is inundating us with heat and gamma radiation at a rate we've never experienced before. The planet, not only our planet, but all of the planets in our solar system are all having a problem because of all this heat and gamma radiation. And we have no magnetic field right now because the poles are getting ready to switch. And in the equator, there's this great big, they call it a dent in the magnetic field, where there is no magnetic field. Instruments don't work when you fly through it. They have to turn their satellites off to get through it so that it doesn't fuck their shit up. And now that dent is breaking into two. That's happening right now. Right now. And why? Because we are at the end. But people, their cognitive dissonance and their ignorance can't get them to focus on it. So don't. You know, don't fill your heart with love. Don't. Do whatever the fuck you want. Most of you will. You know, most of you will do exactly that. You'll do whatever you want. And what would the world do if they only knew they had a day? Exactly. Who is people? Anyone who lives on the fucking planet. The United States, if this North American craton thing does move, it's everyone in the fucking United States. Everyone on the mainland. And Canada, because it's a huge fucking plate, obviously. You know, if it moves, everything that's on it is going to shake. That's what's going to happen. You know, but don't think about it. I'm just saying what's in the news. Just because you guys are actually dumbasses, and I'm not talking about the majority of you, but there is, just go look for it. Go to Google, say what I'm fucking saying, and see what fucking pulls up. You know? But you're right. You're going to see things that actually validate what I'm saying, and you're going to tell yourself that it's one big conspiracy. It's a Google conspiracy. Because you don't want it to be that way. You know? There's nothing we can do as a human race. There's nothing we can do as a human race. How do you stop when the fucking ground shakes? All you're trying to do is fucking find a safe place to go. That's what happens when the ground fucking shakes. You know? And they're in here. The whole thing about it is that what I'm saying is that this is my faith. The stuff that I'm saying right now is just stuff that comes up in the science stuff that comes up in my news, space.com. You know, the whole thing about it is that the stuff that I'm explaining is easily found. But what you have is an army of people who don't want anybody to consider and no one to think about it. Because then they lose control. But they're about to lose control anyway. They don't have control as it is. Heaven is about ready to fuck them. And anyone who is infected by their evil. And so I'm just tired of having to deal with child traffickers who break into my house, steal my shit, brag about it. Blew up a goddamn gas station. Bragged about it. Early in Iowa gas station. They blew the fucking thing up. It's all about child trafficking. They murdered Isaac Cappy. Why? Because he was trying to expose their child trafficking. This is all their bullshit. And they come in as an army, thinking that all of their stupid shit as a group is going to actually have an effect. But it doesn't really have an effect. And the shit that they're focused on is going to be the least of everyone's fucking worries. Already should be. You know? What happened in LA in any other time would have been considered biblical. But we're so jaded that it's not biblical until it fucking happens to us. Most of you are looking at it like it's a fucking Hollywood movie, not realizing what the fuck is about ready to happen. You know, dude, Geo is in here because they're afraid. They're afraid. Yeah, and the shit that happens that we just saw with the hurricane winds in Santa Ana, winds that aren't even supposed to be occurring right now. You know, you're absolutely right. The fault line, exactly. There's another fault line that's running. I don't think that the shit that California has just gone through is the end by any means. I think there's more shit coming. It is natural, but it's all happening all at once, you know? And poo-pooing it and discrediting it and thinking that your life is actually going to just go as it is now, just because that's what you fucking want, is ignorant. Is ignorant. That's what's going to happen. You know, they're breaking into my house. I'm just saying that my faith level, fill your hearts with love, because heaven exists and heaven is all. I have cause to celebrate. I have cause to celebrate because the shit that I was talking about, yeah, exactly. But everything that's happening is happening for a reason. You know, no one is going to be able to save the world. No one is going to be able to save the world. We just got hit with 2 X flares. Yesterday in a 12-hour period? Huge. We're being inundated with so much heat and so much gamma radiation that it's having an effect on everything on the planet. It's having everything. We are living a disaster movie. It's just not happening like everybody thought it would. It's not happening like a Hollywood movie. It's not all at once. It's happening, as we were told, in various places. But you want to know who didn't look at those LA fires as something in the movies? The fucking people who were in those fires fucking running from the flames. That's how it works. The shit is just, mankind seems to think when a species overpopulates and becomes destructive, the planet throws the shit off. That's how it works. We used to learn that in elementary school. I don't know what the fuck. You know? Come on. This is God. So who controls the fucking sun? Who's in charge of the magnetic fields? You know? Who's in charge of any of this shit? What we're in charge of, we can't even stop genocide. We can't even stop war. And we are just salivating over the evil that is about ready to come. You know? God's going to give them a minute. They're going to get a minute to be able to do their fucking shock and awe bullshit. And then heaven is going to show its shock and awe. That's what's getting ready to happen. And these goddamn child killers think I'm afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of them. Because I know what they face. If they had a goddamn brain in their fucking head, were any kind of aware, they would realize that I've been telling them the truth and I've been warning them this whole time. But their own arrogance and their own egos can't see them see anything other than themselves. Their own power. They're in charge. They're superior. They have the authority. They can do whatever the fuck they want and be totally unaccountable. And didn't realize heaven's here to make them accountable. And unless they can beat heaven, they're fucked. They're fucked. Don't want to be fucked? Fill your hearts with love. That's how you're not fucked. Any other way, you're screwed. Any other way, you're screwed. But I feel good because I was able to actually be proactive in my own shit. Now I want to, if I had money today, which I don't, I have zero money, I would go to Omaha and give them the full fucking opportunity to come in. I can't wait for this to happen, you know, and to be told that I was able to do it, that had the blessings of heaven, you know, that is what had the blessings of heaven. And they'll actually dance around and act like dumbasses, thinking that they have the power and control. but no one holds them accountable. They can come in and admit that they stole a computer. And really, when it comes down to it, the computer's not, for me, it wasn't that big a deal. It was the leather satchel that they stole along with it. That pisses me off, you know? And now I realize that that's how my utilities, what's happening with my utilities is I leave, they come into my house, turn my fucking hot water heater up all the way up, and then just let the fucking water run. And they think that that's what's happening, that they're going to, and I know goddamn well where at least it's coming from. Who exactly is doing it? And the cops know too. But do the cops actually care about it? No. You know? And they brag about it through emails and texts. They brag about it. So how the fuck did this dude know that I had a 2005 Dell computer? How the fuck did he know? Was he psychic and now it's gone? So how exactly, you know? That's the whole thing about it is. And they send their little Nazi minions in here. That's why I'm saying, Aquino, it is only an inevitability. Those dumbasses are going to come through that fucking door. And it's a done deal. You know? It's a done deal. It's not fucked. My hot water heater isn't fucked. Someone turned it full blast and they either left it on full blast so I would figure it out, or they forgot that it was on full blast and they forgot to turn it down. And how I found out about it is fucking pulling a bath at 4:30 in the morning yesterday and sticking my hand in what was basically felt like boiling fucking water. It hurt. It fucking hurt. And it made me mad. And then when I went down to find out that my hot water heater was on full, that made me mad. They break into my house. They fucking brag about the bullshit. But just remember, they fucking put poison in a goddamn, in half and half that I was getting ready to just bake a cake in. And I was going to serve it to people. You know? That shit happened. When they break into my house, it's not because they want to just walk around my house. It's always for ill fucking intent. That's the reason why the next motherfucking person who walks through my door claims them all. And the only reason they'll be walking through that fucking door is because they have ill intent, which is exactly what I need. You know? And they brag about it. And they leave text messages, you know? And they leave voicemails. And they email. It is a constant campaign of fucking harassment. And I'm tired. I just don't give a shit to, you know? I've only been making fucking so many videos for the last year and a half since it's gotten really bad. You know, oh, I know they're fucking listening to me. There's 37 of them. They're all listening to me. Just keep it on mind, fucking Aquino. What I cast, because I can cast on my own shit. And I know goddamn well that you all believe me. I did not know for sure until that deputy, that kid came over. And when he was leaving, I extended my hand to shake his hand. And he handed his hand out in such a way that was not normal for him. But I didn't know whether to shake his hand or kiss it. But at the same time he's given me his hand, he spins around, and I'm lucky he didn't go through my glass door. Because he hit that glass door so hard with his face that it was calm, because that door is hard to open. And he didn't have it open, and he walked right with his face right into that glass. So he extended his hand and made sure he was not looking me in the eye when he did it. And the only reason I felt bad, because he's a good kid. He's a kid. And God knows what he'll end up being. But right now, he's a good kid, you know? And he seemed like a decent kid, young, 20s, young, but my sister Cindy, has been with me since she was murdered. She's never left my side. She's been with me since they murdered her. You know, she's the one. She's gotten me through so much shit, and she's the one who actually just fuck. I thought she wouldn't leave me alone when she was alive, but now that she's dead, shit. And she wanted to let me know I'm not without. You know, do the shit that I need to do in my own house. I can cast on my own shit all I want. You know, if they come through that fucking door, which they're going to, that was by their own choice, their own volition. And now they know. Now they know. And Aquino's fucking watching this shit in his pants, because he knows he's not going to be able to stop it from happening. He's not going to be able to stop it from happening. There's no one who's going to stop it from happening at all. I wouldn't cast. Casting on other people, you won't like the consequences. And I was told not to. And let me tell you, it was rough. Yesterday was rough. I was pissed. Because of course I wanted to fucking retaliate. I fought. That's why I was so pissy yesterday. Because all I wanted to do was retaliate. It's been so much. All I wanted to do was retaliate. And to be told that under no circumstances am I to retaliate. Under no circumstances. You know? Fuck, I had short hair for years, long hair. It doesn't make any fucking difference. You know? Doesn't make any. My hair is the least of my fucking worries. You know? Well, you ain't gonna like the results. You ain't gonna like. That's all I'm saying. When you say that you cast like a sprinkler, you ain't gonna like the results. I know you feel powerful. You're the one with the power, and you're the one, because that's how it works. When you do shit like that, it's always about you. It's always about the fucking ego. It's always about the fucking ego. You're the powerful one. You're the one with the abilities. You're the one. But you're not the one. Those abilities don't come from you. They come from the other side, from heaven. They're only yours because you've been afforded those. But when you fuck with them, there's consequences. There's consequences to that shit. And you can tell yourself that there's no consequences all you fucking want. Go ahead. Tell yourself and convince yourself of any fucking ignorant bullshit you want to. But it won't change what is. You won't change it. It won't change it. Trying to protect yourself and actually do stuff like that, it was no different than painting fucking lamb's blood above my door. It's just I don't have to kill something and use its blood, you know? Because I was trained to do some really cool shit. But I have limits, you know? You will do what we were commanded to do by heaven, or you are fucked. You will fill your heart with love. You will be obedient to heaven and do what we were fucking told. And if you have any questions about how to live your life, go read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Look at what Jesus Christ said. Whether or not Jesus Christ is real, whether or not you want to argue that Jesus Christ is or wasn't the Son of God, whatever, go read what the man reportedly said, and then tell me what your argument is against what was said. Forget the dogma. And then when you figure out that what was said, what was actually taught is infallible, then you take that and try and incorporate it as best as you can in your own life, because that's how it works. You know, that's how it works. And if you don't do it, oh my God. And that's what ends up happening, you know? I'm just not going to have all of these weird ass conversations that are only in here to distract. You know, the Dead Isaac Happy Club needs to be brought down. This child trafficking shit needs to be exposed. All of the stuff that I have worked on, the Satanic Temple and their after school daycare bullshit is how they're targeting kids. All of that shit needs to be brought to a close. But if you think that I think that mankind is even capable, let alone has any inclination to actually go against that, you're crazy. You're crazy. It has to be dealt with by heaven. It has to be dealt with by heaven. And heaven exists. Heaven exists. You can have the same sort of relationship with heaven that I have. I was just trained. I've been at this for a long time. But I'm telling you, heaven exists. Search for it. You'll find it, you know? And it's all about the word. That word is love. We're supposed to love. That's what we're supposed to do. You know? Take a stand against evil and love. And not hurt each other. It's not that fucking hard. I don't see the argument against it. I don't. And my argument is no different than the argument we've been given from the very beginning. You can say, you know, what the fuck happened with Epstein? What did any fucking mankind, what did anyone do? What did anyone do? Now P. Diddy, what is anyone doing? No one's fucking doing but sitting back watching, waiting for someone else to do it. So why not God? You know? Otherwise, we're going to wait for one of your fucking heroes. And no one's actually come to the forefront. You know? And all that shit happened in fucking Florida. Matt Gaetz happened in fucking Florida. And look at the shit he was involved with. You know, maybe Madison Cawthorn, when he said that Republicans were going to fucking cocaine-fueled orgies, we should have fucking listened to what he was saying instead of being all entertained that they ruined that man in what, a month and a half? Did it even take that long before they shut him up? You know? But you're right. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. Just believe the bullshit that they, as an army, are trying to convince everyone of. But that whole Nazi thing about say a lie loud enough and long enough and it becomes the truth only works when you only have a select group of lies. When it's everything, how do you control that? That's the reason why the shit that happened in World War II and this fascist fucking takeover that's happening basically worldwide is failing, because we're not in those days anymore. And people are being compelled to take a stand against the evil bullshit. They're not woke. They're awake. There's a big fucking difference. And the people, a lot of people who think they're awake couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. And pretty soon, none of this is going to make any difference. Because if the North American craton moves, like I think it's about ready to move, and it moves, that's going to collapse the United States. And every fucking thing else on the planet is fucking dependent on our economy. Because you have to admit There's no country full of people who can't get enough, who just want more. We are fucking consumers. We love to buy shit. And when we can't buy shit anymore, the fucking economies around the world are gonna crash. It's already fucking happening. You know, if California was its own country, it would be the fourth richest country in the fucking world. And now, look at what we're seeing. That's all going away. You know, it's all going away. Those are facts. We used to be taught critical reasoning and to look at facts, but now we live in such a real world that is nothing. It is not real, and people are just entertained. That's all they give a shit about is entertainment and bitching that they don't have enough. And the United States is really, really well known for that, and our ignorance. You know, it's funny. I talk to people in other countries and they laugh at how dumb we are, how stupid we are. You don't have to smoke anything, dude. Just pull your head out of your fucking ass. You know? That's what it takes. But you're being asphyxiated by your own bullshit. By your own shit. It's asphyxiating you. Because your head is so far up your ass and you think your ignorance actually makes a difference. You know? What you think, how you feel, what you want, that makes a difference and controls things. You know? Obviously it doesn't. You'd be out having fun instead of living in here, you know? But here you are. The topic that we are addressing today, the title of what I wrote was that I know now that what they're doing is getting into my house, turning my hot water heater on full blast, and just letting the fucking water run. That's what they're doing. That's what's causing the shit. And so now that I know that, and how I found out about it is because I drew a bath yesterday, not feeling well at 4:30 in the morning, stuck my hand in that water thinking it would be like it usually is, and it was like I stuck my hand in boiling water. And it hurt. And I was upset because of course I was in pain and it hurt. And so then I get that covered because I had to go fucking run cold water. Oh my God, it hurt. Thank God I didn't just get in the tub because I would have fallen trying to get out. And so heaven was watching me over that. So then I go downstairs to realize they either on accident or on purpose left my fucking hot water heater on fucking full blast. It was like 4 notches above the fucking high. I have no clue how hot that water was. It was fucking hot. And so I realized that that's what they were doing. And at that moment yesterday, I was so fucking angry that I had decided, fuck heaven, I'm casting. I'm casting. I was bound and determined that I was going to cast. But what ended up happening is that I still ended up taking a bath and soaking in that hot water and opening myself up and heaven coming to me. I was told that no, it's a button. It's a thing. It turns my hot water heater up and down. You know? I know where it was, and I know where it was the day before yesterday. They turned the fucking thing all the way up. To cast is to focus your intent and just, it's witchcraft. You know, it's witchcraft. It's the shit that they were doing that they do, you know? So, anyway, I was told I couldn't cast. What happened this morning, the title to this was that I can cast on myself and my own shit. So now I opened a doorway that is at the threshold of my home. And if you come into my home now without being invited or welcomed, you're going to come into my real home. Because what you do when you cross the threshold unwanted is you walk on, you'll end up on the other side of the looking glass. And it's only going to take fucking once. One time with one of them. Because they all fucking work as a group. They protect each other as a group. They do all their shit as a group. So when I open the doorway, that's the whole thing. I don't just get to claim that one person, I get to claim the whole lot of them in the dark. And it's not a revolving door. Once they're in, they're in. They're in. That's what's so fun about it for Michael Aquino. There's no way to stop what's about ready to happen. There's just about, no, because you're fucking stupid. Because it's not me. It's heaven. But I know you're all above fucking heaven. You're all above heaven. You're the superior ones. You're the ones in control. But you wouldn't be in here, fucking dumbass, if that was the truth. You would just fucking not give a shit what I had to say. You certainly wouldn't be breaking into my house and bragging about it. You stole a fucking computer out of my house. You admitted to breaking and entering, and I would have never known that you stole that fucking thing had you not told me. And it's gone. And I know where it was, you know? And so therefore, and you'll just brag about it. You'll brag about it. And why? Because you're just part of their little group. In one way or the other, you're just another part of their group. You could be a fucking dumbass satanic temple member, following what Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. Or you could be part of the bigger group and part of the shit that's all government. It's all government. You know? Who do you think has the power to change an official report on a gas station explosion, despite the fact of what was established that day, without a doubt? Who has the power to do that? But Michael Aquino is part of the CIA. Always has been. Still is. The dude is still alive. Control your minions, dumbass, because it's only going to take one more time. It is in an inevitability. It's going to fucking happen. And when it does, you're all claimed by the dark. And you can't say that I didn't tell you so, because I'm doing that right now, before it's even happened. That's key to this, remember? And it is inevitable you will not be able to stop them. Their own egos have complete control of them. You know? I am of no exception. The whole thing about it is that you guys think that your little fucking game works. You think you are in control, and in your own little world you are. But when that little world comes tumbling down, which it already has been, you know, it already has been. What's getting ready to happen as a planet is happening fast. It's not small. Aquino is founder of Temple of Set. Aquino is the founder of Temple of Set. The only reason why I found out that Aquino supposedly committed suicide the first time is because he had all these members from Temple of Set inundate me in emails. And that's why I know he needed me to know, for whatever reason, that I heard that he had committed suicide. That was the whole reason why sending all of those members from Temple of Set to me in emails demanding that I apologize to Lilith. Because it was important for me to know You know? Well, their group actually has controlled a lot of people. True. The only thing that you can control is yourself. Temple of Set, SET. There's this wonderful thing called Google. You know? There's this wonderful thing called Google. And I was trained to do some really cool shit at Offutt Air Force Base and was exposed to a lot at all those rituals in Hummel Park. And just because ignorant ass people with ignorant ass opinions want to say that that doesn't happen, maybe you should learn how to spell schizophrenia, dumbass. You know? Google actually helps you spell. It's this cool site called dictionary.com. You know? But that's Geo. He's probably fucking drunk. He left his message at about 10:45, around that area last night. You know? Last night. When Dowd actually came on here and was emailing me throughout my whole live that day, probably not the last one, but the one before, for an hour and 20 minutes, did that. He sent me 102 text messages. 102. In an hour and 20 minutes. I got 102. It was either him or it was Geo. Who knows? You know? I don't involve myself with the demonic. I serve heaven. But the darkness is a part of me. Because of what I went through as a child. You know? I kind of am in a different place than a lot of people. Unless you had this group of devil lovers pledge their souls to you, we are on a different, we've had different experiences. You know what I'm saying? Michael Aquino tortured a lot. I have no idea. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue how Dougie got involved. The only reason why I know that he was involved is because Shane Bugbee, who was helping him set up the Satanic Temple, has gone on record saying that one of the reasons why he quit is because Doug told him that he was working with the CIA. You know? And I know from my own personal experience that Michael Aquino works for the CIA. That's what he does. That's why everything he does and everything about him is secret. That's why he's always been protected under this guise of national security. You know? But I also know what he taught me, and he knows who the fuck I am. You know? Why else? Why he decided to suddenly commit suicide 3 years later? Because it just happened. You know? But he was supposedly committed suicide in 2019, and then like 2023, right around that area, he supposedly committed suicide a second time. How the fuck do you commit suicide twice? You know? I don't understand. And when that happened, it was the exact same time that my stepmother and I ran into each other, who also supposedly was supposed to be dead, and it had been gone on for about 3 years. That I was convinced that she was dead, until I was in face to face in front of her, and I could see that she was plainly not dead, and that it was bullshit. Because that's what this game is. It's all their fucking bullshit. And it's all their child trafficking and all their Nazi ass bullshit. They think they can't be fucking touched. They do. They think they can't be fucking touched. Do you want to know my prediction? I would be willing to bet that serious shit is going to happen February 28th. When we have the alignment where all 7 fucking planets, Mercury joins the alignment. And all of a sudden we have all 7 planets in alignment. As crazy as the sun is right now, I can only imagine what the magnetic pull of 7 planets in the same solar system being in alignment with each other will have an effect on. But I know that shit doesn't work that way. Nothing matters with anything else. All of the shit, you know? We were told in the end to look to the stars, you know, that we would see signs. We're seeing signs. The shit's happening right now. You know, you can tell yourself that nothing's going to change. You're going to live your life the way it is right now, and everything you want is going to happen, and you're a special little snowflake, and everything around you just adheres to everything any amount of bullshit you want to tell yourself. But it doesn't change what's happening right now. It doesn't change any of it. It doesn't change any of it. And I don't think about your souls. Don't fill your hearts with love. Do whatever the fuck you want. Shit, it won't make any difference to me. You know? It won't affect me one way or the other. But if you have a clue in your head, repent, because the time is here. Flat the fuck out. And you can tell yourselves whatever you want. And there's a lot of you that are in here that listen to this shit that know. And you want to know who also knows? Fucking Aquino. Aquino knows. Aquino knows exactly what I was trained to do and exactly what they did to me and exactly what those fucking rituals are. He knows. And I'm telling you, Aquino, there's not a fucking thing you can do to stop it. That's what's so fun about this particular live for me. Because they're fucking frothing at the mouth. They can't wait for me to get into my fucking car. You know? Can't wait for me to get into my car before they do exactly what I'm warning them they probably should think about not doing. But they're going to do what the fuck they're going to do. And there's no way to stop it. And Aquino, you know that as well as I do. You know as well as I do. And you know what I was trained to do, you know? Dude, I don't even know what that is supposed to mean. You guys actually just, it's like talking to toddlers a lot of times. I don't understand what the fuck you guys are saying. Because the shit that you're saying is nonsensical. Is it even fucking words? You know? Michael Aquino, MK Ultra. Mind over matter. Knowing how to be a warlock without the need of a coven or rituals. Basically, being trained to believe that I was going to be the vessel for the Antichrist and all that entailed there. Along with an entire group in Hummel Park that actually were slaughtering little boys and pledging their souls to me. And then we had to eat their fucking flesh. And then afterwards, we all had to drink their blood. And then I got gang raped. So all this shit was being done for me, my honor, like I wanted them to fucking kill kids. Because this all happened under the age of 10. Because what fucking 6-year-old doesn't want to be fucking involved with fucking murdering kids? Listening to the screams, drinking their blood, and then getting fucking gang raped. It's every 6, 5, 7, 8, 4. Isn't that every fucking that age dream? You know? They taught me to do some really cool shit and they pledged their fucking souls to me. And now the Antichrist that they raised jumps ship, serves heaven, and now heaven is helping to fuck them. The sheep are getting ready to be separated by the goats, and the goats go in the fucking dark, where they spend an eternity fucking suffering. That's what's getting ready to happen in a fucking nutshell. And people can say whatever the fuck they want, and will, and do. There's nothing that you can stop any. Fuck, who cares? You know, it doesn't make any difference. In the end, it makes no difference. You will do what we were told to do. And what were we told to do? No, we were not told to pray to Jesus. We are to emulate Jesus. We are to live the word, and he taught us how. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, Jesus didn't pray to Jesus. He didn't serve himself. Jesus wasn't a fucking cult leader. You know? We are to emulate by doing what he taught, how he taught us. We have a responsibility to it. And with that said, I'm going to pray because I'm going to get off here. I pray to heaven. I pray to both our Father and our Mother and Jesus. I talk to all of them, you know? All of them. Learned how to do it with the shit they taught me as a kid, took it way farther with shamanic work. You know? That's what ends up happening. And the things that I've gone through, no, they're different than what did you guys grow up thinking that you were going to be the vessel for the Antichrist and didn't want to be the vessel for the Antichrist? You know? Because that's how I grew up. Wrote a book about it. Have a blog, davidshurter.com. Have a blog. It's not like I'm saying anything new. Nothing new. And so unless you lived that way, then my life was a bit different than yours. My perspective is a bit different than yours. You know? It's a good question why they're not being fucking held accountable. You know? That's a good fucking question. But God is about ready to hold them accountable. That's how it's getting ready to work. Dude, the sad part about it is that at least I was given a chance to grow old. Your dumbass isn't even going to be afforded that chance. You know, you're not going to be able to live and actually be able to figure out how to pull your head out of your ass. You know, and the fact that they'll say nasty shit, nasty comments, thinking that they're actually being something or actually accomplishing something other than promoting and exposing their own ignorance, it's just kind of sad, you know? There's no Lot's life. This is over with. This is over with, you know? And because of what I've gone through, I'm not going to have people who don't have a clue what they're talking about come in and start to preach to me, you know? I'm glad that it's hilarious to you. You won't be laughing. They never do. They never do. And now I know why my utilities are going off the fucking charts. Did they do it by accident? Did they do it on purpose? What fucking difference does it make? What difference does it make? And then they laugh and brag about it all the time. Like I'm just supposed to take it. And I don't trust the sheriff's office. You want to know why I don't trust the sheriff's office? Because it's run by Neil. So it doesn't make any difference what fucking deputy I talk. They're run by Neil, who just got elected in the office again. So why would I fucking trust anybody from that office? Especially considering the fact that when this group was sending me pictures of kids, and I called 911 to tell Neil, to tell them to stop sending me fucking pictures of kids, they sent me to an FBI satellite office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. And they knew it didn't exist. And so they were just telling me, go fuck yourself, dude. You know? Go fuck yourself. We're not going to help you. And so, and they come at me as an army. They fucking leave me voice messages. They send me text, email after email after email after email. They're fucking blatant about it. But if I say anything about it, then I'm the one who actually gets. God is going to deal with all of this. God is going to deal with all of this. And it's not going to be fucking pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant. You know? The way through heaven is to fill your hearts with love. It doesn't make any difference who the fuck you pray for. If you're not living with your heart full of love, you're fucked. You're fucked. It doesn't make any difference what incantation you say. You know? Because a lot of prayers that I find with people, God is neither an overindulgent parent or a fairy godmother. You know? The whole thing about it is that we plant seeds. That's all we do in life. We plant seeds. I'm letting people know what I know to be true. That's what I'm saying. I'm just planting seeds. Whether or not that shit is going to grow, whether or not I'm ever going to be able to appreciate the shade that the seeds that I planted provide, is no different. It makes no difference. You know, the stuff that I am saying has something to do with, all I'm saying is the stuff that we've already been told. It's not original. It's not mine. I'm just telling people what Jesus Christ himself said. The kingdom of heaven is inside of us and all around us. Split a piece of wood, you will find him. Lift a rock and he is there. The key is to emulate Christ and live the word. That's what is required. That's always been what's required. That's what's being required now. And if you don't do that, there are consequences to that. We've been told that. We all know. So the fact that people think that they can do whatever the fuck they want and think that there's no consequences is delusional. We will live the word. We will fill our hearts with love. The best way to figure it out is to do what Jesus Christ told us to do. You know? No, I don't have dates and times. No one knows the time. No one knows the time. But to actually look at it and realize that it's going to happen is kind of a fucking no-brainer. You know, it's a no-brainer. It is the inevitable of what is going to happen because that's the shit. That's how it fucking works. You know, we're tilted. The planet is slowing down. The rotation has stopped. We're being inundated with heat and gamma radiation. We have no magnetic field. These things are happening. What your argument is that my argument is that heaven is fulfilling its promises. It is doing what it said it was going to do, that we've been told it was going to do from the very fucking beginning. But you want to say that it's not happening. Or if it is happening, it's not happening like I'm saying, and it certainly fucking has nothing to do with God. That's the argument. And you think that argument is a valid argument, and it changes anything. And it doesn't. It doesn't. You know? There's no way to prepare for what's happening. If the North American craton moves, if I were you, I'd fucking pray for death. I'm hoping that I go when it happens, because I'm not so sure I want to be around at the aftermath. Because it doesn't sound like a lot of fucking fun at all. You know? Just saying. But when you look at things and you compare it with physics and science and critical reasoning, you can see it's not just liberals. The whole thing about it is that there's a lot of conservatives, there's a lot of goddamn Republicans are going to find out that they ain't going where they think they're going. You know? And really, when it comes down to it, what we all need to be worried about, what each of you need to be worried about on a personal basis, is not who the fuck is going, but whether you're going. Whether or not you're doing what needs to be done. Because in the end, it won't make any difference who's doing what. You end up in the fucking darkness. You end up in the darkness because of your own shit, yourself. It won't make any difference what your brother or sister or neighbor or father or mother or anybody else is doing. You end up in the fucking dark. You ended up in the fucking dark because of the shit that you did. You ended it up, and it's consequences of your own shit. And right now, at the end, I'd be worried about my shit and whether or not I was going to make it way more than anybody else. You know? It's the choices we make with the intent that you hold in your head. If you have darkness in your heart, you're going to do dark shit. That's what it's going to go. And you're going to argue for dark shit. Just like this fucking dumbass Noah person, gobbledygook. Well, that's because you're ignorant. You know? Probably haven't read a fucking book in your life, let alone had a goddamn thought about anything other than what you feel and what you want. That's how it works, you know? And you think those opinions make a difference, and they don't. How you feel, what you want, in the scope of life doesn't make a fucking bit of difference at all. And we will make it with each other, you know? Good thoughts do not necessarily bring a good life. Those who are closest to living the word suffer the most. It goes that way. It goes that way. Let that fucking prosperity gospel bullshit go. Because it's all fucking bullshit. The prosperity gospel is bullshit. You know? You will act how you think. So if you're thinking just, oh, it's all going to be good, because everyone thinks it's about happiness. It's about happiness and love and joy. That's what's waiting for us. That's not what's here now. You know? And we need to deal with what's here now. And what's here now is we all have a fucking job to do. And you're either going to rise to the level and do that job, which is leading by example. If you have love in your heart, you will lead by example. You know? That doesn't mean anger doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that there's not trials and tribulations. In fact, just the opposite. The closer that you get to the word right now, the harder you will be tested. That's how it works. So if your life is a fucking misery right now, and the only thing you have is faith, that's your test. That's definitely my test. I have no idea how I'm going to eat next month. I have no idea. And now that I know what the fuck they're doing, I have no idea how to fucking stop it. So I did what I did. You know? I did what I did. They're going to walk through that one of them. It's only going to take one once. And they're salivating right now. They're just wanting me to get off this and leave the house so they can do it. They're salivating right now. They want it so bad. It is inevitable that it will happen. Heaven works in mysterious and glorious ways. You know? The fact that heaven has given me permission to do what I did is just brilliant. It's just beyond brilliant. That's why I say it takes a whole lot longer to take your stuff and let heaven deal with it. It takes longer, but the results are so much more spectacular. So much more spectacular. And it's inevitable. I'm coming. I'm being called. Dead Isaac Cappy Club. Dead Isaac Cappy Club. And no, there's not a fucking thing any of you are going to do to stop it. If I can't stop it, and it's in my own life, in my own house, what the fuck do you think you're going to be able to do? You know? What you need to do is fill your heart with love and focus on your own soul. That's what needs to happen. If you want to donate or buy a book, if that's how you want to help, I'm selling books, $30. Tell me who I'm inscribing it to. Tell me where I can send it. PayPal, Venmo is just my first initial D and then my last name. Shurter. If you want to help, that's how you do it. I need all the help I can get. I have no idea how I'm going. You know, I just have to have faith that something's going to open up. But on the scope of things, what heaven needs of me, what I was shown to do this morning was brilliant. And it came from heaven because I'm not smart enough to think of shit like that. But once it was shown to me, yeah, of course, why not? You know? You're going to need to figure out if your heart is full of love. And if your heart is full of love and you're doing it, then go out into the fucking world and help other people. You know? Lead by example. That's how it works. Sitting on your ass, thinking about how to control anybody else is futile. You're not going to be able to control that. You know? Like you said, the only thing we can control is ourselves. So, go inspire people to live the word. If you're living the word, then go out and inspire others. If you're not living the word, figure out how the fuck to do that. That's what your goal should be. You know? That's how you do it. If you focus on what Jesus taught, Jesus is a good thing, but focus on Jesus all you want. But focus on Jesus and don't do what Jesus Christ told us that we're supposed to do. How is that just not idol worship? So you think focusing on Jesus, but not doing what he told us to do is going to cut it. What is the fuck difference of idol worship? That's what you do for idols. You know? You take them shit. They don't require anything. You know? I can make the strongest case of fucking Temple of Set of Michael Aquino. He has a long goddamn history, and it doesn't make any fucking difference. I don't need to argue with people about the Temple of Set. I don't need to argue about Aquino. He's fucked, and he knows he's fucked. He knew what I could do. That's why he played fucking dead. And I'm not gonna, I don't give a shit what any of you fucking think. If that's what you're concerned about Temple of Set and me being able to justify, then you have the wrong look in life. You're focused on wrong things. He's fucked. That's all you need to fucking know. He is a bad man, and there is no way he has enough time to even begin to try and figure out how to change his ways. There's not enough time. It's over. He and his whole group and everyone who has been infected by this group. What you need to concern yourself about is if you've been infected by this group. Because if you've been infected by this group, you're fucked if you don't figure it out. And the only way to figure it out is to fill your fucking heart with love. That's how it works. You know? You can't stop people from being hurt. They're going to hurt whoever the fuck they want. That's what it's going to happen. You know? What? You think that this satanic temple after school daycare shit that's targeting your kids has good intentions for your fucking kids? How do you stop that? You know? All of this shit is out there. The whole thing about it is that start living your life and emulating and stop worrying about things you can't control. You know? It is over and done with. Fill your hearts with love or don't fill your hearts with love. But that's the whole, if any message that you get from everything I've said in the last hour and 34 minutes, fill your hearts with love. Your soul exists. You will not ascend if you do not fill your hearts with love. And if you do not ascend, these motherfuckers, with all of the evil shit that they've done and all their rituals and all of their shit, has created a spiritual black hole. And anything that is involved with it or affected by it or influenced by it is going to be sucked into that spiritual black hole. And the only way to prevent that is to do what we were commanded to do. Fill your hearts with love, love God, love everyone else, and lead by example. And if you're not doing that, you're fucked. And the time is over. You know? I don't need. Heaven is fucking dealing with them. What, do you think it's me? Heaven is dealing with them, dumbass. Heaven is the one who's in charge. Heaven is the one dealing with them. You know? Jesus is more than a prophet. There's been no prophet. Jesus teaches us how to live the word. Jesus teaches us how to live the word. That's flat out how it works. You know? But running around and thinking that you're saved because you say that you fucking believe in Jesus Christ, just because you say those words, what is the difference between I believe in Jesus Christ and thinking you're saved because you said that and saying abra fucking cadabra? You know? There's no difference. We are to live the word. Faith without works is dead. That's how it works. Faith without works is dead. Oh my God. Heaven doesn't give a shit how I talk. So I'm talking in English and swearing in English, but the French don't know. People that speak other different languages, you know? Stop clutching your pearls. That's just it. You little hand wringers clutching your pearls, thinking that you're not responsible for the world that you live in because Jesus Christ is going to save you. Because you're just a little princess that needs to be saved. And you say that you love Jesus Christ, but you don't do anything that we're supposed to do. You know? The vibration, love God. Fill your hearts with love. Just get that vibration through your fucking head. Because you want to know what? Whether or not I make it to heaven or not, what the fuck does that make any difference to you? What difference does it make? Other than the fact that you're feeling superior, making judgments. But if I go to heaven, if I don't go to heaven, how does that affect you? Either in any way, shape, or form. Gay people getting married. Stupid. You know, I think they should have called it something else. Calling it marriage just piss people off. But as long as they have the same fucking rights so that people can't just fuck them over. You know? Do I agree with the lifestyle? No. That's the reason why I've been celibate for 14 years. Because of my faith. Because I don't like the lifestyle. You know? But that's just me. That's my choices in my life. And shouldn't have any effect of anybody else. Because if I make it to heaven, if I don't make it to heaven, it doesn't make a fucking bit of difference to any of you. What you need to concern yourselves with is if your hearts are filled with love, which is what we were commanded to do. And you can say whatever dogma you want. You can say whatever dogma you want. But saying that shit and not living the shit is worthless, and it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for anyone. And if that bothers you or goes against your frail sensibilities, tough fucking shit. Flat out. You'll do what we were commanded to do, or you will face the consequences. That's what we've all been told. You'll either hear it and act accordingly, or you won't. That's how it works, you know? And let me just be clear. Those in the world who have absolutely no clue who Jesus Christ is, but still have their hearts filled with love and still love all those around you, are going to make it and ascend. That's how it's going to work. Because the mantras that you utter out loud, thinking that those incantations are a substitute for actually doing the work, you're deluding yourselves. You know, you're deluding yourselves. Dude, you come in here, you talk a lot, and nothing comes of it. Dude, obviously it does. Here you are. You know, here you are. And have to interject. Here you are as an anonymous account and have to interject. At the same time, setting yourself apart about, you know, it's just, and you don't have any clue how you seem, you know? It's, you don't have any idea how you look. And in the end, heaven deludes those who have, the people who actually work and are exposing all of their darkness are deluded. They can't see that they're exposing their darkness. You know? I'm trying to keep up with it. I've banned so many of them this morning. You know? I'm just, and I'm going to get off here anyway. It's 11, almost 11:30. My dogs, they want to eat. They want to go outside. It's nice outside. It's supposed to be 40 degrees today before we get these supposed frigid weather. If you want a book, $30. My PayPal and my Venmo are D Shurter, just my first initial, my last name. I also have a blog, davidshurter.com. Because Michael Aquino was involved with fucking child sacrifice. And the fact that you're actually going to try and be in here and try and take away Michael Aquino and the fact that he was always in Humboldt Park fucking killing kids, let alone always in, he was my handler at Offutt Air Force Base. And I don't, you know, the whole thing about it is that I've done it. I've done it. Why do you think he played dead and had to play? He had to let me know the first time. What he should have done is never let me find out about the second time, because I would have just thought he was dead. But heaven had something else to do about that, because I do not think that, I think it has more to do with providence than coincidence that I ran into my stepmother, who was also playing dead at the exact same time Michael Aquino supposedly committed suicide a second time. You know, I think it has more to do with providence. I needed to be made aware, and I was made aware, and that made a difference. Okay, I'm listening. Oh, well, I don't care if you hate my shirt. Who are you, the fashion police? You know? Oh, Jesus. This is Daniel. When it comes down to it, as far as the Dead Isaac Cappy Club goes, Daniel and Gio should have never come in and posted all those live YouTube videos of my town when Owen dropped over dead. It's like I told the deputy the other day. I've watched enough crime shows on television that I thought that when people murdered people, you were supposed to keep it secret, not post fucking videos and have neon flashing signs, you know? And that's what they did. And now they're on here because they really are pissed off, because they've bragged about being in town and murdering my friend. And I'm just calling it out now. You know, I'm just calling it out. And they want to make themselves out to be a victim and say I'm crazy, even though they posted live YouTube videos of my town at the same time my friend Owen drops over dead. They go out of their way, you know? Dude, you're starting to piss me off. You know? And I'll just leave the shit up. But, you know? And why? Because they're involved with child trafficking. The Dead Isaac Cappy Club. When the story goes, I was driving under an overpass. I didn't know the dude who supposedly committed suicide. There was no police presence when I drove under the overpass. And yet I can tell you the very minute I drove under an overpass, even though there was no reason for me to know what minute. And then 4 years later, when I get involved, starting to speak about my friend, Isaac Cappy, it suddenly goes from I was driving under an overpass to now I need to be regaled as a hero. Because not only was I not driving under the overpass that I went on and on and on about for 4 fucking years, but now I was on the bridge with Isaac Cappy trying to keep him from committing suicide. That's a pretty big fucking discrepancy. That's a big ass discrepancy. The same sort of discrepancy about the official paperwork for the Erling, Iowa gas station explosion, saying that it was one explosion that leveled the place. Even though there is a video of the second explosion, and the local news, KETV, came out that night, interviewed Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross, interviewed Dan, the owner of the gas station, who said he went out of the gas station after the first explosion, then went back in the gas station and got his brother-in-law and got them both out before the second explosion. That's on video, as well as myself. They interviewed me because my house was right across the street, a quarter of a block up the road, and my sister's house that I was standing in front of was right across the street. So how did the official story go from one explosion that leveled the place, but the facts of the matter? It is a simple, there's discrepancies there. And because of the discrepancies, you know, that's what they do. That's what they do. I watched an interview. I don't know who the dude's name is, but he was running cover for Temple of Set while simultaneously talking trash. It is called controlled opposition. Both sides are in control. They're all working as a group. You know, if one of them focuses on a group of people saying, oh my God, this group of people, they're all involved. So when you see the one, look at the people that are supposed to be opposite to them. Doesn't make any difference who it is. They all have a group. They're all involved. They're all working together. That's how this works. That's why they've been able to keep it so tightly controlled. But they're not in opposition to each other. They're not in opposition at all. And Aquino is working fucking overtime. You know, this whole group is working overtime. They're fucking with my utilities because they know I'm on disability and I only make $9 a month. I'm living on $950. They also know that when I ask for donations, most of the time I don't get shit. I don't get anything. I'm not bitching. I'm not complaining because I know a lot of you who listen to me don't have fucking money. I couldn't be donating to anybody, but it doesn't change the fact that there's nothing coming in. And they know this. They know this, you know? And they're trying to shut me up any way that they possibly can. It's not begging. Dude, I pay for a fucking blog that costs all kinds of money. I'm not even close to making the money with this book. You want to know what? Not at all. So I don't feel bad about asking for actual donations. And if you don't fucking like that, tough fucking shit, don't fucking donate. That blog ain't cheap. About $1,200 a fucking year. I don't make that in donations. This book was $14 fucking thousand to publish. If I'm a grifter, I'm really fucking bad at it. Because all I've ever done is add my own shit. The extended version for my book is for free on my blog. That's for free. You know? If it was about fucking money, I'd start charging for everything. None of these videos are monetized. None of it. You know? Because it's the information. To get the information out. That's the important thing. For me, it's always been the important thing. To try and get the truth out. It's always been the important thing. And the money always fucks shit up. You know? It hasn't been since I got involved basically with the fucking Dead Isaac Cappy Club that I started asking for donations. Because for years, I didn't allow conversation. No comments. I just put the shit out there and didn't ask for anything. But I didn't let anybody talk either. You know? And I know a lot of you send, you know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And I'm not criticizing. I know a lot of people do not have money. You know, I know that. You know, I didn't sacrifice shit, dickhead. I was under the age of 10. You're right. I was the fucking head of a cult under the age of 10. I got out of it when I was 10 years old after they made me light that dude on fire. But you're a goddamn dumbass, and it tells me that I am going to block your stupid ass because you're just playing games like they play. You know? Do you really think at 6 years old, I was such a fucking novelty that I was actually able to control an entire cult? I was murdering kids when I was 4. You know? That's who I was. But then at the age of 10, after fucking being forced to light that dude on fire, and having a psychotic break, I just decided to let it all go. Oh, that was when I was 10. I'm older now, so I don't feel any need. You know? You're a fucking idiot. Flat the fuck out. And you think your shit makes sense. And it is so ridiculously stupid that it's irritating to feel that I even have to talk about it, you know, because it's a dumbass response. And if people buy into what the fuck you're doing, fuck them. They're stupid anyway. Because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see your shit. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see it. It's pretty fucking obvious. So the last fucking thing I'm going to say is, I'm not kidding, Michael. Aquino, it's only going to take one once. And it binds you all into the dark. And it was all blessed by heaven. That's what heaven wanted me to do. I couldn't cast on you, but setting something up so that you walked in it by your own fucking devices was completely on the table. Once. Just one more time. And I'm probably going to the grocery store today just to go walk around. Go to the post office. Give them a chance to do it. You know? Give them a chance to do it. That's how it's going to work. And there ain't a fucking thing you can do to stop it. That's what's so much fun. You wanted to inflict these motherfuckers on me, And now I get to use them against you. You know? Oh my God. Again, Geo, go fuck yourself. Do you ever sleep? Shit, you're leaving me shit at 10:45. Now you're in here now. Am I just the only thing you think about? Because it's kind of creepy. You know, it is kind of creepy, I have to say. And the fact that you have all of these weird ass, fake ass accounts, and the fact that you guys all deal with that platform that was kids, because that's what needs to be investigated with Isaac Cappy. That platform that he had kids on. That's what needs to be looked at. When Isaac was alive. What that was, that Rambalamba Damba Damba Doodah. I don't know what the fuck they called it. It's some weird ass name, but it's a platform that has kids on it. And that's what needs to be looked at with the Isaac Cappy shit. And you want to know who has all that shit? Geo. At least that's what he told me. You know? Famalam. Thank you. Famalam. You know? Famalam. That's what it is. Famalam. That's what needs to be investigated. Who infiltrated that? Who took it over? And where it went after Isaac was dead. Or up to the point before Isaac ended up dead. That's what needs to be investigated with Isaac. Because that's what helped get him murdered. And they don't want anyone to know anything. But Georgie, Porgy, Puddin' and Pie, his ego is he won't be able to help himself. And when it happens, Aquino, it's done. It's over. There's no reversing it. Because heaven is the one who blessed it. I simply was the conduit that opened it. Heaven is the one who actually set the parameters. So in order to actually change it, you have to fight the dark and heaven. And each one of you get to do it on your own personal level. Because in the dark, you won't have your group. Your whole group will be there, but it won't make any difference to any of you. The dark likes individuals. It wants your complete attention. And it's going to have it. And it's almost done. Because that dumbass won't be able to help himself. He's foaming at the mouth right now. Just foaming at the mouth. Fucking probably pacing. You know? Pacing. Just. And now you know. Because I know you've been in here. I know you've listened. You all have. You're fucking obsessed with me. Of course you are. When I say that your group is my target audience, I'm not lying. I love all the other people in here that actually are trying to live the word. But your group is my target audience. You are the one that I want to hear my words. And I know you do. I know you do. And so, again, in the end, 4 little words. I told you so. In the end, just 4 little words. I told you so. And with that said, I'm out of here.